on this first thing we're going to do here, we're going to learn defenses. We're going to learn the defensive fronts, the techniques, how we call them, how we recognize defenses, and that one. To me, there's three types of fronts. You're going to see three types of fronts, and they're going to vary in some form, but they're mainly, you're going to see a 40 front, you're going to see a 50 front, you're going to see a 60 front. 50 and 60 are cousins. They're kind of related to each other. There's some similarities. The 40 has some variations. You can have a 4-3, a 44, but it's still in the 40 family. Those are the fronts we have. All right. Before we get into those three fronts, our defensive alignments. We got defensive alignments and techniques. The defensive players. What we name our techniques is this. Anytime a player is head up on an offensive lineman, head up on the tight end, head up on the tackle, head up on the guard. We've got a 2 technique, a 4 technique, and a 6 technique. Those are the techniques that we call for the guys lined up. All right, now, if the guy is on the inside shoulder of the guard, he's on the inside shoulder of the guard, he's a 1 technique. If the guy's on the inside shoulder of the tackle, then basically he becomes a 4-eye, 4 inside. If the guy's on the inside shoulder of the tight end, then it's a 7 technique. All right, so we've got a 1, a 4-eye, and a 7 on the inside shoulder. They work both ways. It goes both ways. You know, if I got a guy on the inside shoulder over here, again, I've got a 1 technique. If I've got a guy on the outside shoulder of the guard, then I've got a 3 technique. If I've got a guy on the outside shoulder of the tackle, I've got a 5 technique. And if I've got a guy on the outside shoulder of the tight end, I've got a 9 technique. So basically, you go 1, head up is 2, 3. And we've got a 4-eye, head up is 4, then we've got a 5, inside's a 7, head up is a 6, head up's a 6, outside shoulder's a 9, and then the guy out here off on the line of scrimmage is an 8 technique. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4-eye, 4, 5. Then the tight end's a completely different animal. You got 7, 6 head up, 9 outside. Those are the techniques that we like to talk in terms of. So if you come out of the game, at least you'll be able to tell me what you got. For the center, if the guy's head up on the center, then he is in a 0 technique. That's a 0 technique, head up on the center. Then the center can have, if the tight end's here and the play's going this way, we can have a shade, strong. All right, if we've got the center, say the tight end's lined up there again, but the play now is going this way, then we've got a shade, weak. All right, so we've got 0, shade strong, shade weak. Anytime a player lines up in the gap, then it's called a gap technique. All right, it's a gap technique. So that kind of takes us through the alignments of the down linemen. These are down linemen only. All right, if we come over here and we get a linebacker. All right, say we've got that tackle's in a 5, nose is in a 0, and the linebacker's lined up on the outside shoulder of the guard. That puts him in a 3 technique and he's off the ball, so basically for terminology, he's in a 30 technique. If this nose guard would be shaded that way, this linebacker was lined up on the inside of that guard, and we had a 4-eye back here and the backer on. We had it all shifted shades to the strong side. Had a 9 technique here, a 5, got a 9, a 5, a 30. We've got a shade strong. And then this linebacker here now would be in a 1, so he'd be in a 10 technique on that. We got a 4-eye, then we got a ghost backer. So that's, for terminology, that's how we talk about. So if the backer's lined head up on you, then he'd be in a 20 technique. All right. So that kind of gives you an idea how we call our terminology, how we call the defenses, how we recognize what defensive fronts we have and what they're going with. All right, now that we've got that covered, let's go back to the fronts. How do you recognize your fronts? All right, on a 40 front, we'll go tight end here. Anytime I've got two down linemen, it could be a 3, a 2, 1, whatever. Down lineman and a back. That is a 40 front. That equals a 40 front. All right, so I've got a 40 here. If I've got a 1 technique back here, I've got another down lineman and a back. So I split the defense down the middle. I find the tight end or the strength side first. I've got a 40 look over here. I've got a 40 look over here. So basically I've got a 44 defense. I got a 44 defense. This will make more sense to you later on when we start rolling into different fronts. It could be just the opposite. I could have the tight end over here. I could have a 7. I could have the 1 technique over here. I could have the 3 technique here with the backer on the inside boom. I still have a 40 front here. I have a 40 front here. So I've got a 44 defense. All right. And the inside guys over here, I call this a 44 over. When they're shifted over that way, I call it a 44 under. Under when they're shifted this way. 1 to 3 to the weak sides and under. 3 and your things over. All right, over and under. All right. Now you can have different forms of the 40 front. You can come up here, you can have this, all right, this, here, and now if you take and you put the Mike backer in there, you've headed into the stack family, which we'll cover that in just a minute. But now, you basically split the front, you still got 2 down linemen with a linebacker, you got 2 down linemen with a linebacker, only they stuck the Mike in the middle. So now I got a 4-3 defense, which is a 4-3 stack. We'll get into the stack family here a little bit later on, but that's a cousin to this guy right here. All right, so don't think about the stack right now. I'm just trying to show you how it falls in and how it works in place this game with. All right, so we're sitting here. We've got the 44 front, 44 over, 44 under. We could have a 44 heads. When we say heads, that means we got 2-2 techniques. They're laying them in there in 2-2 techniques. They're stacking them up right here, playing it a little bit tighter. Strong safeties here, weak safeties off the back side. They play them head up, and they either slant them or angle them. Slant strong. Slant is to the strong side. Angle to the weak side. All right, so we slant strong, we angle weak. Slant, angle. These are both coming. Slant strong, angle weak. So you got over, you got under, you got heads, what we call heads. And you can have them inside. We see this a lot in the 4 wides. If we're sitting there 4 wides, we'll see this a lot with 2-1 techniques, ends, backers, backers, backers. Got a 44, split it down the middle, 44 inside. Inside means they're both inside. Obviously, if that's inside, then if we had a 44 and both guys were lined up in 3 techniques, split it, then we'd have a 44 outside. So that That just lets you know where those techniques are lined up on those defensive line. 44 inside, 44 outside, 44 heads, 44 under, 44 over. All right, that's on the 44 front, the even front. We call it even front. All right, even. All right, now let's go to the Okie front. The Okie front, which is your 50s defense. It's in your 50 package. All right. Okie's for Oklahoma. It started back in the Oklahoma days of Bud Wilkerson, back in those old glory days ahead. So basically, when you're talking about this, we'll go tight end left sometimes for some of you guys. Let's just say I've got a backer, I've got a 5 and a 9, I've got a backer, a 0 nose. That is an Okie front. An Okie front consists of the guard being uncovered. The guard is uncovered. I can have a shaded nose guard there. I can have whatever I want. But the guard is uncovered. I've got a 5, I've got a 9, I've got a 30 backer with a shaded nose strong. That is still an Okie look. When you split it right down the middle on this side, I've got a 50 look. I've got a 5 look right here. I've got a 50 look. Okay? So on the back side, on the weak side away, I've got a backer, I've got an in and a backer. So over here I split it, I've got guard uncovered. Over here I got guard uncovered. So I've got a 50. Over here I got a 50. So now I've got a 55 defense. All right, I've got a 55 defense. Same way, I could have a 4-eye backside. I could have it snug down real tight and that guy's in a 4-eye. But if that guard's still uncovered and you split it, even though it's a 55 over, all right, if it's a 55 under, then I still got a 55 front. All right, I still got a 55 front. All right, with it shaded here, shaded to the tight end, it's a 55 under. All right. If I go here and shade the nose guard weak, put the 5 back here. Boom. I've got the 4-eye, the backer, and the backer. Guards uncovered, guards uncovered. Now I've still got, I split it down the middle. I got a 50, I got a 50, I got a 55 over. All right. I got a 55 over. This will all make sense to you later on when we get into the combinations of the 50s and the 40s together. All right? I come up here, the same theory. I've got 2 tackles head up, 0 nose, 2 tackles head up, backers, 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 backers. I've got 3 down linemen. That's the difference between the Okie and the even. On the even, I've got 4 down linemen. Four down linemen. Defense, 4 down linemen, 2 to 3 linebackers. All right. In the Okie front, I've got 3 down linemen. I've got 3 down linemen, and I've got 4 linebackers. Or unless we're playing an odd stack, and I've got 3 linebackers. But I've got 4 to 3 linebackers. Okay? So here, if I split it again, I've got the guard uncovered, I've got a 55 heads. All right? If I come down here, and I put the backer here, and I put this guy on the inside, 0 nose, put him on the inside, Put that, they're cheating it to a bear look almost, but still the guard's uncovered, the guard's uncovered. I split it down the middle, I got a 55 inside. I got a 55 inside. If I come over here and draw it up, I got him and a 50 and a 5. I got him 50 and a 5. Just for terminology, we don't really call it that way too much, just talking verbally. But theoretically, if I split it down the middle, guards uncovered, I got a 55 outside. So it ties in the same as with your even. These two inside guys are head up. These two tackles are head up. We got 55 heads. We got 44 heads right here. We got 44 heads. We got 55 heads. These guys are inside. We got 44 inside right here. Over here we got 55 inside. We got 2-3 techniques here. We got 44 outside. We got 2-5 techniques. We got 55 outside. So it kind of falls in and stays the same way with your terminology. Okay? Falls in the same way with the terminology. If we get up here and we're head up, and we slant the line to the tight end, then it's 55 slant. Alright, if we have them here like this on the inside, for some reason, they bring them back out this way to the weak side, then we'd have angle. We'd have 55 angle. Alright, so we still slant strong, angle weak. Slant strong, angle weak. Same way over here, ties in all the same. Okay? So that's your basic, your 4 down lineman, your 3 down lineman, your even front and your Okie front. All right, let's go back here now and tie this in a little bit. With the 60. Now you got a 60 front. All right. Another pin here. You got a 60 front. Well, what does a 60 front mean? It means I've got 3 offensive linemen covered. Back in high school, when you got down to the goal line, the team came in and they got 2 tights in the goal line. And y'all went with a 1 technique, a 5 technique, a backer. That is a 60 front right there. That's 3 down linemen on 3 offensive linemen. 3 down linemen covering 3 offensive linemen, and most of the time you had a linebacker right there. So over here, I split it, I've got a 60. If I've got the same look back here, all 3 of the down linemen covered, boom, then in our theory, we got a 66 defense. In our terminology, we got a 66 defense. Some people, your high school coach called it, I called it, I still call it a 6-2. It's a 6-2, 6 down linemen, 2 linebackers. It's a 6-2. You got a 44. Here, a lot of people in the pro ball calls this thing right here a 3-4. That's a 3-4 in pro ball. All right, we'll get into naming these linebackers later on and stuff. That's not that important right now. I just want you to learn the thing about 40, 50, 60, how these fronts and how you recognize them. All right, so now we've got a 66 defense here. All right, however you cut it, they can do the same thing. Now that would be basically a 66 inside. All right, judging these 2 guys here. All right. If I moved him here and him here, and we were considering this the strength, then that'd be a 66 under. That'd be an under front, because the 1 technique is over here like the shade. All right. If we had it just the opposite, and it was in here, and you had the 3 technique, then you'd have the 66 over. Over means the 3 technique is to the tight end side. You've got a 3 technique in either a shade or whatever that. Now I'll get into all the combinations here in a little bit. All right. If these 2 guys are head up, and you've got a 5 and a 9, then you've got a 66 heads. All right, just like you had it over there. And then, if we've got these 2 guys, both of them are outside, and they're playing 3s on both sides. You got a 66 outside. So it all kind of has a little continuity there. It all kind of ties in for you a little bit to where you understand the 60, when you've got a 5 and a 9 and a backer, this is a very distant cousin. These 2 are cousins. They're from West Virginia, where I'm from. The fuckers are related to each other, all right? They're from West Virginia. They're related. You got cousins. Because if I took this nose guard, who's in that 1 technique right there, and moved him over on that center, and drew that line now, down that middle of that center, guards uncovered, we would have a 50 defense there. But we didn't. We have him over there on the guard. So now it's a 66 defense. All right. Now we're going to get into some combinations here, how this thing works and how it goes together. Okay. All right. Anytime you have a combination of a 60 or a 50 and there's a 4 involved in it, anytime you have a 54 or a 64 or anything like that, anytime there's a 4 involved in it, you're dealing with 4 down linemen. For example, if I draw a tight end up here, and I put a shaded nose, and I put a 5 technique, a backer, and a backer, and this is strength over here. This is the strength. So I split it, guards uncovered, I've got some form of 50 defense. But back here, they brought this guy down to a 3 technique, put him on the line of scrimmage, and I got a backer. Okay, we came back. We went back to the 40 front. We said a 40 front was this. We said here, here, 2 down linemen with a linebacker. That was a 44 defense when I split it. That was a 44 defense. All right, now, I've got a front side, I've got a 50. Back here, I've got a 40. I got a 50 here because the guard's uncovered. I got 2 down linemen and a linebacker, so I've got a 40. So basically, I've got a 54 defense. I've got a 54 defense, which we call under. That is an under defense. Very basic defense. All right? We got a 54 front. Now, just as easy as we got a 54 front, we can take this thing and go with a 5, go with a 9, and go with a back. Same as what we got here. Just looks exactly the same. I'll go with the 40 look back here. Just the same. We'll dot it down the middle. Now, I take this same nose guard and slide it over here on the guard. I take that same nose guard that was in the 50, and slide him over. Now, that made that a 60. So now instead of having a 54 defense, I've got a 64 defense. Because I got 3 down linemen covered on the offensive line. So I've got a 60 defense. I got a 64 defense, which some people call it under G. It's called an under G because he went over on the guard. It's an under front with a nose guard on a G. How this whole thing came about, a little quick story here. How the whole thing came about. Jimmie Johnson, who y'all see on TV all the time doing the NFL channel on Sundays, got the hairspray and all that, his hair all used to be the head coach of Dallas Cowboys and Miami Dolphins. He was in Arkansas, and they ran a 50 defense. They ran what they call the Arkansas 50 slant and angle. They slanted them and they angled them. They had quick guys, little quick guys, and they slanted and angled and did a. Well, Jimmie looked at it one day, he said, we're slanting here, boom, boom, boom. Well, instead of slanting them there, I think I'm just gonna take, and I'm gonna line them up there. I'm gonna line him up in that 5. Instead of slanting him into that gap, I'm just gonna line him up on a shade in that gap. Instead of slanting him down to that gap, I'm just gonna line him up down there in that gap. I'm gonna leave that backer there. It started out as a backer. It started out as a 3 down line. Now, if that backer's standing up, they're getting to an under, which was an under front. They're getting to that under. They got to it from an Okie front. If I go to it from a 50, then I'm doing it with 3-4 people. All right. Now over here, we're not doing it with 3-4 people. We're doing it with 4 down linemen. We're doing it with 4 big guys. So now we got really Sam, Mike, and Will. We're doing it like the pros do. This is based off of a 4-3 scheme. 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. All right. 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. Okay. Here we're doing it off of 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers. All right. So we have Sam, Mick, Mike, and Will. All right. When you got 3 backers, you've got Sam, Mike, and Will. When you got 3 linebackers, you got Sam, you got Mike, who's in the middle, Sam's strong, and Will is weak. Okay. When you got 4 linebackers, you got Sam, you got Will. But basically, you got 2 middle linebackers. You got 2 Mikes. You got 2 Mikes. I always keep Mike weak. Always keep Mike weak in an Okie. All right? And go with Mick on the front side. So I got 2 Mikes middle. You'll hear our quarterback come up here sometimes say 2 Mikes middle. We're in the Okie front. All right, he's declaring the offensive line's got the 2 Mikes in the middle. We'll get into all that shit later. Just learn what's going on right now defensively. All right. So you've got 2 Mikes. Boom. So if I went to this under front with Okie people, I'd still have the same kind of thing, you know. But we don't. This here doesn't hardly ever happen, ever anymore. That does not happen. And there's so much substitution going on. If they're going 3 down linemen, then they're going to be 4 linebackers, or may even be DBs, but they'll be 4 linebackers. This is what we'll see. We'll see 4 down linemen. All right, in your 54 front, which is an under defense or your under G with 3 linebackers. Again, Sam, Mike, and Will. All right, Sam, Mike, and Will. Okay? All right, so that kind of gives us that look. Now, it goes back the other way. You can go back the other way with it. We can come out here. We can line up the tight end here. All right, and we can go with him in a 3. Him there. Nose is shaded weak. The nose is shaded weak, we got an in. Again, we still got 4 down linemen, but I'm gonna split this thing down the middle. I'm gonna come over here and find my strength, which is a tight end. I got a 3 technique. So anytime that guard's covered, I know it can't be an Okie. It's not an Okie front if that guard's covered. So I got 2 down linemen and there's a linebacker. So that has to be a 40 front. Now I come over here to the split side, the weak side. The guard's uncovered. Guard's uncovered, it's gotta be some kind of 50 defense. So now I'm sitting here and when I find it, I end up, I've got a 45 defense when I find my strength. So if we're running a running play over here, we're gonna block this like a 40. If we're running a running play over here, we're gonna block it like a 50. So if that other was an under, then this is an over front. This is an over front. The cousin to it, what we just had up there was the backer, him, the nose, backer. The 40 front was backside, which was the 54 defense, which was the under. It's the under front. So we got an under and an over. We've got an under and an over. We still got 3 backers. Here, now we got Sam here. We got Mike, who's always weak in an even front. And we got Will. This is a 3 linebacker defense, but we're in an even. If I took that nose guard and moved him over there, we'd be in a pure even front. We'd be in an even defense. But he slid over there, so we're in an over. We're in an over defense. All right, now, we still got Sam, got Mike, who's strong now, and Will. All right, so we still got 3 linebackers, 4 down line. We got an over defense and an under defense. All right, if I take this one right here up to top, and I move this nose guard off of that center and move him onto that down lineman, and that linebacker is on the line of scrimmage, boom, now I've basically got a 46 defense. I've got a 46 defense because we got a 60 look over here. We've got a 60 look over here. I put him back over there on it with the guard uncovered. I'm back to a 45 front. All right, I've got a 45 front. I can go here, here, move him over there, 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 and now I've got a 46 defense, which is still an over. It's still an over front. All right, it's still an over front, but it's G weak. Over front G weak means the guard's covered weak. This is how we recognize our defensive front. All right. So you can have a 45, a 46, a 54, a 64. All right. That's the combinations you can have. All right. You got over, under. All right. So here's what we're going to learn to block. All right. We're going to block an over front, which is a 45. We're going to block an under front, which is a 54. All right. You got Sam, Mike, and Will. We're going to block an even front. Sam, Mike's always weak in an even or an Okie, and then Will be out here. Oh, you'll have a strong safety sitting out here. So now you got an even front. You got an even, you got an under, you got an over, 4 down linemen, over. 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. Under. 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. Even. 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. Okie. 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers. Alright. So that's our basic 4 fronts that we're going to get to, and how we got to them, and what they're all about. Alright, now. Last thing we're kind of learn here on this in this session is the stack family. We want to tie the stack family into all this. Stack family. When we hear stack, when you hear stack, you know you've got some form of middle linebacker. There's some form of middle linebacker. So here's your stack family. If I just put the down lineman in, if I put one there, I put one there, I put one there, and one there. I know I've got some kind of over front, because I got the 3 technique to the strength. We'll call the tight end the strength right now. I've got a 3 technique to the strength, so I've got an over defense. All right. I've got 4 down linemen, but I heard stack. Whenever they told me what it was stack. When I hear stack, I know I got a middle linebacker. I know I've got a middle linebacker. When I heard the word stack. So if there's 4 down linemen, there has to be 3 linebackers. 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. Well, the Mike is in the middle. So then I've got Sam here, and I've got Will here. So now I've got basically a 4-3 stack. I got a 4-3 stack defense. Okay? All right, now, on the same term, just so you know how we're recognizing, I still got that right there. I still got an over front. All right? But now back here, they shaded that nose guard over on that center, and we came here. Strength is still to the right. So if I don't know anything, I've got an over, but I've got a guard uncovered. So really, I've got a 45 something. I've got a 45 something. Well, I heard the word stack. I heard stack. When I heard the word stack, I know they got a middle linebacker. So if that's a middle linebacker, there's the Sam and there's the Will. I've got a 45 stack. Okay. Here's the defense we ran at Auburn. This was our base defense. We had a down lineman. We had a shade on the center weak. But we had a 4-eye. We had that guy a 4-eye. Then we had a 9 technique. So I got guard uncovered, guard uncovered. So I know I've got some kind of 55 going on here. But I heard the word stack. When I heard the word stack, it told me I had a middle linebacker. So now I've got Sam and I've got Will, so I've got a 55 stack. That's how we got to our 55 stack defense. All right? So you can have a 4-3 stack, you can have a 45 stack, you can have a 55 stack. Now there's a lot of variations with the stack defense, how it works out and how they do some things. All right? Just for example, all right, the pro, here's the old pro 4-3. All right, put the Sam here, move the end down there, move the tackle down here, had the 1 technique, and the wheel. All right, 4-3 stack, 4-3 stack, Sam on. Sam's on the line, boom, boom, boom. Or, in our terminology, you got 3 down linemen covered. You got 3 down linemen covered. I know that's some form of 60. So I got a 60 4 stack. 60, 40, 64 stack, middle back. I got a 64 stack. Now I'll just call 4-3 stack same on, but for our term, for knowing the system, how the system goes, you got a 64 stack. All right. If they did that stack and moved this nose guard over here in the shade, right there, and now you split it down the middle, I've got a 60, guard's uncovered, I got some kind of 65 stack. And that's how it all kind of ties in. All right. We'll see a lot of this. We'll see a lot of this. We'll have here, Sam, Mike, one technique in, and Will. It's our silver, what we call silver blitz. Sam and Will blitz. All right. Basically, it's a 66 stack. All right. Which is a silver blitz. Sam Will. All right. So now we've kind of got all that down. All right. The last thing we want to learn in this session right here is that your gaps. You've got A gap, B gap, C gap, and D gap. That is strong. That is to the play side. That is strong. Now, if the play was coming over this way to the open end side, to the split inside, then that would be A gap, B gap, C gap, and then your D gap would be out here off that ghost tight end. All right, backside is A weak, B weak, C weak, off the ghost tight end is D weak. All right, so over here we'd have A weak, B weak, C weak, D weak. All right, that's our system for the holes where they can come. All right. So if we got a blitz, let's just go over here out of the over. All right. We'll go out of the over front, all right? And we'll say the strength's over here. So that's A gap, B gap, C gap, D gap. That's A weak, B weak, C weak, D weak. All right. And we're gonna run this stunt right here. We got 45 over, 45 over. We're gonna loop that nose guard here. We're going to blow that linebacker there. We're going to blow that linebacker there. All right. So we got 45 over. Which means we got 4 down line. We got 45 over. Sam at A. Mike at AW. That would be the blitz. Sam at A, Mike at AW. All right, so if I look at the scouting report and I'm a center or guard, and I see them A gap blitzes, I know they're mine. I know them babies are affecting me. All right, I know them babies are affecting me. All right, we've got an under front. We got 54, but we got an under front. We got a 54 under front. We're just gonna do this here. We're gonna slant him there and blow that backer off there. All right, again, A gap, B gap, C gap, D gap. A weak, B weak, C weak. All right, if we do that, we have a 54 under, Mike at C. So if I'm a tackle, A gap don't bother me if I'm a tackle. So when I look at the scouting report, I'm a tackle, I'm looking for C's and B's. I'm looking for C's and B's, all right? Right here. We've got this front right here. We've got an even front, 44 even. Now we're gonna blow these two guys in here, and we're gonna blow these two backers out here. So we got an even front. We got a 44 even front. All right, we got A gap, B gap, C gap, D gap, A weak, B weak, C weak, D weak. So we got four. We got Sam at B, Mike at BW. Alright, so both tackles have to know now, and guards, but both tackles know these are my blitzes. These are my blitzes. Alright, the biggie, the one we always get here, running him there, and bringing the mic around here. So we got A gap, B gap, C gap, D gap, A weak, B weak, C weak, D weak. We got an Okie Front, we got Mike at A, Mick at A, M-I-C-K, Mick at A, Mike at B. Alright, when I see Mick at A, Mike at B, then I know we got a strong side blitz. We've got a strong side blitz because I got A and B gap. They're coming to the same side. If I had AW, BW, then I know it's a weak side blitz. And that's kind of how we do this thing here. All right, for you guys, it ties in with the secondary. All right.